figure out what year the crucifixion happened. You need to figure it out. It's imperative. It is because if you believe in a pre-tribulational rapture, you've got no choice. You've got no choice. The astronomical data, and I can show you just right here, we know when the Passover happened from 26 all the way to 36. Now, it is beyond contestation. The crucifixion had to happen within that 10-year time frame based on historical evidence. You have to accept that. When you do, this is why the pre-tribbers don't even talk about a crucifixion date of 30 AD, even though that's one of your only two options. Because if that be the case, the rapture should have been 3 years ago. And obviously it wasn't. So when you're a dispensational, pre-tribulation, 7-year tribulation adherent, you are in your dead zone. You literally must have a rapture in days, just days from now. You've got to have a rapture. Either on the Passover, the day Jesus was crucified, 3 days later, or you could even kick the ball out to the 40th day of Pentecost, which is also called Ascension Tide by Christians. But past that, your time limit's up because you've run out of 7 years. Because you must adhere to the promise of Hosea chapter 6, verse 2. It is promised after 2 days. 2 Peter chapter 3 states emphatically that scoffers would be triggered based off this 1 day equals 1,000-year integer. It's right there in 2 Peter chapter 2. If you 2 Peter chapter 3, if you read the whole chapter, you have to read all the verses, but in there it says that scoffers would be triggered by this very thing, the promise of Hosea chapter 6, verse 2. And it says that what will terminate that period of time is the great day of the Lord, is the sixth seal event. That's what triggers it. So with that in mind, I mean, look, we know Passover was on Thursday. Why? The biblical data, just read it. It plainly makes reference to things being done on the day of preparation. That was Friday, because Saturday was the weekly Passover. There is no, ask any rabbi, they will tell you the day of preparation is Friday. That's the day before Passover. They don't care what feast it's in the middle of. And this one just happened to be in the middle of the feast of Passover and unleavened bread. Doesn't matter. Friday was still the day of preparation. So when you know this, when you check your astronomical data, this is unalterable. You can't play with these numbers. If you want it on Thursday, that he ate the Last Supper, because remember, on sundown on Thursday would have triggered the Passover on Friday. So if you have a Friday Passover, that can only be April the 7th, AD 30, or April the 3rd, AD 33. Now look, from this point, the rapturist, this is one of the things they're going to have to try to do. They're going to have to try to mess with the date Jesus was crucified. Because, well, if you could kick it all the way out to Sunday, because in AD 26, that was April 21st. So that was a Sunday. So take note, they're going to play with these dates, but beyond contestation, the New Testament data loudly declares that he was crucified on Passover. It was on Friday. And he was resurrected on Sunday. That's beyond contestation. But I'm warning you, they're going to try to play with these numbers. They're going to have to try to move the crucifixion day. I'm telling you. You need to reconsider. You need to try to consider that I'm encouraging you to go through cognitive restructuring. Dispensationalism has left scarring on your psyche. You've been rendered unable to process data. You've just been rendered unable to do it due to confirmation bias. Because you've got confirmation bias, you cannot process information. You can't process arguments about the information, which renders you unable to come to the evidence that's at hand. If you do this, you need to consider that there's only one prophecy model there only ever was. The Holy Spirit didn't write multiple prophecy models. He wrote one. All the church fathers before the Council of Nicaea believed in one thing. All the disciples, one thing. Apostles, evangelists, everybody believed one. Historic premillennialism. What Maranatha Ministries does is takes that and we adapt it to integrate the relocation. This is going to be the relocation. God is going to do to you what he's done before. He's come outright and told you what he was going to do before. Consider these things. I'm telling you that if these things be true, and I'm hoping Jesus was crucified in 30 AD, come this October 1st, this world is going to spin out of control. Get prepared for it. Till next time, God bless. Godspeed.